Hello again, I'm Kate and today I'll be sculpting the BILL CIPHER statue from Gravity Falls. Let's get into it! As usual, I'm going to start off with tinfoil to form the base of the sculpture. It's basically irrelevant when I put the clay on as I completely get rid of it after to add more foil to bulk it out some more. I always end up having too much fun whacking the clay to warm it up. To make BILL's triangular body, I fold some foil over a few times, making sure to keep it as flat as possible. I add some masking tape to hold it in place, and then roll out some more clay and cut it to size. I just use my fingers to pinch together the edges to keep it held together. Whenever I need to create a flat edge, I just rub it along the table and cut off any excess to create the flat side. Because I've used so much clay and it's still too small, I take it off and use more tinfoil to bulk out the base some more. I wouldn't exactly recommend doing this. I did hurt my knuckle. As Bill isn't sitting up straight, I cut off a corner from the bottom so he can sit on more of a slant. Again, just whacking the clay. I then just layer my sheet of clay over the foil and smush it down, as well as taking any excess clay off and smoothing the seams. So he could sit in well, I cut some of the clay and foil out. I also gave him some clay under his corner, hip, point. I don't know what to call it. At this point I started shaping out some clay for the eye in sort of a pointed oval shape. I used this flat face tool to merge the seams and then went in with my mini finger to smoothen it. I have another tool that's very similar to the mini finger that has a flat edge that I use to create the divide between the body and the eye. To make his top hat, I started with a small piece of wire and then rolled out some clay that I cut a space into to place the wire. I had no idea how I was going to make the rim of the hat, but then I realised that my rolling pin was the perfect width, so I used it as a guide to cut out the circle nicely. Again, I just used the same tools as I had for the eye. To fit his top hat, I cut off another one of his corners and used a tiny bit of wire as well as the clay glue to hold it in place. However, I didn't attach it just yet as I wanted to finish the eye and to avoid damaging the hat. I used the flat face tool to create the lines and then scraped the clay out to create the pupil area. As he's a little damaged, I cut out some small slits around the body and cleaned them up a little with my mini fingers. As I needed to create his little waving arm, I cut out some wire to size. I rolled out a small line of the Cosclay and cut a slit into it to fit the wire. To then create the fingers, I rolled out tiny pieces of clay and attached them with my mini fingers. Across the body I pressed in with my smaller, sharper tools to create cracks and texture. It's then time to create the final touches on the hat. I put some clay around the base and scribbled into it with a pointy tool to make it look like moss. I copied this texturing onto other parts of the body too. After the arm's been baked, I slipped it back into its socket and blended it in with the rest of the body. To hold it in place, I blended some clay between the base and the body. It doesn't matter if it looks like a part of the ground, as I'll be texturing the difference later. To make the ground more lively, I added bumps and blended them out so it looks uneven. I then thought of an idea, to make the ground half in the style of the show, as well as bringing in my own techniques for moss, as well as adding some mushrooms. So using Cosclay, I shaped out the grass and bushy areas, making sure to replicate the style of the show. Using this little pointy tool, I scribble into the ground, which is my own way of making moss. I don't do it on the stylized tufts of grass though, I want to keep those flat. For the mushrooms, I cut small pieces of wire for the stems, and then attached balls of clay to the ends using the liquid polymer clay, and shaping them flatter and others into points. After the full sculpture has been baked, I start off with a dark grey for BILL. Trust the process. To dry brush, all you need to do is wipe off any excess paint from your brush, and then wipe your paintbrush over the details, which creates highlights. I then go in with the dark green all over the grass, as well as the moss on BILL. I then go back over it a few times using dry brushing, using lighter and lighter shades of green, which do turn more earthy. I use a more yellowish green on the stylised pieces of grass so they stand out better. I gave the mushrooms a cream coloured stem, and then coated the heads in brown, which is slightly lighter in the middle. I noticed the hat was wiggling and it just kind of came off. I just attached it back on with super glue and it was fine. And after all that, the BILL CIPHER STATUE is complete. I liked how it turned out, and let me know what you think. If you enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like, and you can subscribe if you'd like to see more. Have a great day. Goodbye.
Sculpting.